in the early 1990s as the Soviet Union collapsed. Thousands of classified documents flooded the black market. Most were political, some scientific, but among them was a file so bizarre, so disturbing, that even Russian archivists refused to officially confirm its existence. They call it the Sapogov Incident. And tonight, we open the forbidden archive. Welcome to Obsidian Files. The story begins in a remote village called Sapogov, with a population of barely 300. Back in 1989, residents started seeing strange military vehicles passing through the forest at night. At first, they just assumed it was routine Soviet transport. But everything changed when 3 hunters stumbled upon an abandoned military tent deep in the woods. Inside, they made a chilling discovery: a metal examination table, restraints, 3 radiation badges, and a notebook filled with dense scientific shorthand. The hunters immediately informed the local police, but by the next morning, the tent was gone. Completely vanished. No tracks, no debris, nothing. The notebook is the only reason we know the Sapogov incident ever happened. Its pages describe a subject referred to only as Specimen 12B. According to the notes, the subject was non-responsive. It showed, and I quote, abnormal resilience to chemical sedation. It also emitted a low-frequency humming noise and displayed atypical limb elongation after stress exposure. The notebook also mentions something called Phase 4 exposure, but this is never explained in the files. What terrified investigators the most was the final entry, dated July 4, 1989, subject no longer contained. Evac required. Close forest perimeter. That same night, villagers reported a siren echoing from the woods, followed by an eerie silence. Within 48 hours, Soviet forces sealed off the entire Sapogov forest. Residents were told the area contained unexploded munitions. Helicopters hovered over the tree line for days. But one villager, an elderly man, claimed he saw soldiers carrying large biohazard containers toward a cargo truck. Another said he heard gunfire near the river. The military never commented. And when the Soviet Union collapsed 2 years later, all documentation related to Sapogov simply disappeared, at least officially. Then, in 1993, a former archivist leaked several scanned pages online. Among them were a blurry photograph of a forest trench, a silhouette of a humanoid figure strapped to a table, and a map marking 5 missing soldiers who had been stationed near Sapogov. What really stands out is a handwritten warning stamped on one page: terminate witness contact. Restrict public access indefinitely. The leak was taken down within hours, but mirrored copies survive to this day, circulating in dark web forums and conspiracy archives. Many believe Specimen 12B wasn't human. Others think it was a biological weapon experiment gone terribly wrong. A smaller group claims the soldiers were experimenting with sound-frequency psychological weapons, which might explain the humming noise described in the notes. Researchers and former military personnel have proposed several theories. A nuclear exposure survivor with severe genetic distortion, a classified Soviet bioengineering experiment, an early Spetsnaz psychological operation, or something not created but found. The strangest claim comes from a rescuer who allegedly worked the perimeter. He said the soldiers described the forest as being alive that night and reported hearing the same humming sound coming from the trees themselves. No physical evidence of specimen 12B has ever been recovered. Whatever happened in Sapogov, Russia buried it deep. But the fragments that survived paint a chilling picture of something that escaped, and something they never managed to fully understand. If you want more forbidden archives and hidden cases, subscribe. This is Obsidian Files.